Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Barry Landau's Tropical Planet. I'm Barry Landau, your host. We're here today in one of the beach communities of Southern California. We're going to have a look at an incredible tropical garden. This is all these plants were grown from seed or pups, and over the last 25 years. And this whole collection is now for sale. So if you see something you like, let us know. You can reach me at blplantman@gmail.com, and you'll be able to see photos and videos of the whole collection at www.buysellrareplants.com. All right, let's get started. Come on in. Here we have Encephalitis sclavoi, and it's coming into cone right now.
It's a female.
It's a female. We've got an incredibly rare one, beautiful one here. What is this one?
That is a Cycad simplicipina from Vietnam, recently described.
And here we have a beautiful Macrosomia bracteata, full color. That's a mature clump. Makes a great landscape plant. That's about 2.5 feet tall above the pot. And right behind the Macrosomia bracteata, we have an aloe.
Marlothii. Puts out a flower cluster about 3 feet across in December, January every year.
And that's about 6 feet tall, right? And look at this cluster of, what is this one?
That's Zamia floridana. That's a male, and you can see cones all over it. It flowers profusely.
That must have about 20 growth heads on it, huh?
Easily.
What an incredible specimen. And this is hidden amongst the various other plants here. What is this?
That is a very rare cycad from Taiwan called Cycad Ensis. It's almost extinct in the wild. There are 2 colonies, and the colonies only contain adult plants because every small plant has been taken out.
And yours seems to just be past coning, or is that?
It's that's a male cone. It's pretty well spent right now. So if anybody has a female, it'll be easy to cross that.
Yeah, let us know if you have a female out there. We'd love to share some pollen with you. And what is this big strap leaf thing we're looking at?
Actually, I was just taken aback there because out of nowhere, 2 flower stalks have started to spring up. This is a triple-headed plant that I am especially proud of. It is called Dorianthus palmeri from Australia, southern Australia.
And are these the flower spikes?
Those are the flower spikes.
Wow.
Now, this plant is so unusual in cultivation that one that was in the Edinburgh Botanic Garden for 40 years before flowering drew spectators from all over England on special trains. This plant flowered once before for me about 6 years ago, had a 15-foot flower spike thickly covered with fleshy 3 to 4 inch red blossoms. It's a southern Australian agave, but with very soft, flexible leaves.
And we just saw some in the back. You have some pups or some seedlings coming up, right?
I have about a dozen seedlings that are ready to go. They're 6 or 7 years old. They're from the last flowering. Those flower stalks may take a while. The first time it flowered, it took 12 months, well, actually 18 months from the time I first saw the flower stalk until the final seeds were ripe and I cut the stalks down.
And again, this is a specimen you're willing to sell, correct?
That's correct. It's got 3 heads. Any or all can go, but it'll also be very easy to sell the small pups that are seed grown.
Great. Well, look at this blue-leaf cycad. This is fantastic. Is that one of the Encephalitises, or?
Yes, that's a very rare selected clone of Encephalitis Natalis blue form. I bought that as a cutting from someone in Ohio many years ago, and it's taken a long time to get big. Right now it's about, let me check. It's about 8 to 10 inches in diameter. Not a very fast-growing plant, but very beautiful with the orange base.
Fantastic plant. Okay. And next to the Lamania, you have something tall and beautiful. Is that a Surcin Ellis, or what is that?
No, that's another Encephalitis. Not many spikes on the leaves. This is palsy spinous, Encephalitis palsy spinous.
Wow.
And it has a huge caudex there. I'm afraid that when I planted these things, I planted too many plants close together, forgetting that they were going to get quite large. So that's one. Right next to it, the blue one farther back, another blue-leaved one, is Tridentatus, Encephalitis tridentatus. And then in the front, the one with the narrow linear leaves is Diune eduli, a male from Mexico.
Fantastic. What is this one up front?
This one and the one next to it, these are Macrosomias from Australia. These are the large trunk-forming Macrosomias. There are two types: the shrubby ones that nobody really collects, and then the tall trunk-forming ones. You don't see much growth on here because, as it turns out, these put out a huge underground root before they start growing tall. So they're just about the stage where they're getting ready to get tall. I have the names on these.
It's okay. But in other words, they go through growth spurts. You wait years for nothing, and then boom, they go up.
That's correct.
Fantastic. And what's this blue leaf one? It's a beautiful leaf.
Well, that's one of the choicest ones that everybody wants. This is Encephalitis horridest.
Yeah.
And it grows a nice spiny cluster with time. The other one leaning on top of it is Encephalitis Hildebrandt TI, a relatively large growing plant. It has a small caudex on this one.
And here we have a bunch of nice orchids and bromeliads and tillandsias and all kinds of succulents. Incredible stuff. And what is this beautiful, looks like a Dracaena of some kind?
Yeah, that is an unusual species Dracaena, unlike most of the hybrids you see in cultivation. I actually got these seeds in a protected Buddhist temple forest in Thailand. And this is Dracaena lorerii.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Those are still young seedlings. They will grow eventually to 10 to 15 feet tall.
Wow. And look at this beautiful specimen Cattleya plant. Unbelievable. Look how many growths are on that. Beautiful thing. This beautiful tree you've got here.
That is a flowering kukui nut tree or candlenut tree from Hawaii. This is found all over the Pacific. The ancient Polynesians brought it from place to place because it's a very useful tree. They call it the candlenut tree because you take the nuts, drill a hole through them, put a wick in, and there's so much oil it'll burn like a candle.
Amazing. And yours is in full bloom right now.
Full bloom, still young, but eventually it will mature and the topmost leaves will be silver underneath, and it will be beautiful in the wind.
Fantastic looking tree.
This was actually an accidental growth because I picked up some seeds in Hawaii trying to make jewelry out of them, and one of them ended up in the yard and sprouted, and I didn't have the heart to take it out.
Amazing. A volunteer. Well, that's great. And this is beautiful. Is that another Cycad or a Diune?
That is a Cycad. That is an extremely rare plant originally from China called Cycad panzuihensis. As far as I know, it's extinct in the wild because of over-collecting. But people do have it in cultivation, and it's a very unusual plant. If you look at the leaves, they're quite different from the Cycad revoluta that most people grow.
Beautiful. And what is this beautiful Cycad here tucked away behind the house?
That is a Mexican plant. That is Macrosomia Robusta, a male you can see from the cone sticking up perhaps.
Well, that's beautiful, and I love the way the leaves and fronds curve. Okay, good. It's okay. Some beautiful tillandsias here, all different kinds. kinds of beautiful specimen ripsalises and Hoyas. Look at this beautiful specimen ripsalis. A nice clump of Nerigella apulacea or tigriana. Look at that. Some incredible Nerigella clumps. And a beautiful big Bilbergia clump. I think what we have here is Tillandsia silver queen. And what do we have here? Is that some kind of giant Encephalitis?
That is Encephalitis villosus. It does not form a giant trunk like some of them. It keeps low to the ground. The last time I measured that was over 14 inches across. I think it's expanded since then. That is a female plant. It had 3 2-foot long cones on it, and you can see they're now starting to disintegrate and drop the seeds all over.
Well, that's a stunning specimen. It's about 8 feet in diameter from leaf tip to leaf tip? Or?
So it's more than 10 feet and 12 feet in diameter because those leaves are 5 or 6 feet across.
Wow. And what's this rather tall, upright one we're looking at?
That is Encephalitis Gratis, the one with the tall, upright leaves.
What is this beautiful large one here in the middle?
Oh, that is a still growing plant of Encephalitis Natalis. It is a male plant. The last time it flowered, it had 4 18-inch cones coming out from the top.
Wow, that's a beauty.
Right now it's about 18 inches diameter by about 22 inches high.
What's this little one in front of it?
That is an Encephalitis palsy spinous. If you look at this whole area, just this center thing, we have 6 different types of cycads growing in there. One is Ferox. That is the farther one in the big pot.
Yeah, I recognize that.
And the one closer, I will have to look at the tag. I'm tempted to say it's Encephalitis Natalis, one of the newer species.
And what is this nice big one right here?
That is a good size female Encephalitis manicensis. 3 cones on it right now.
Look at those 3 female cones. Look at this cluster. What is that clump?
That is an Encephalitis Bumble Winces. It has, I think, 6 or 8 babies around the base, each of which is about the size of my head. It is a male plant, and the last time it flowered, it had 3 2-foot long cones out the top.
Wow, that's just stunning. We've got another Encephalitis Ferox here.
That's it. That's the one that's growing in the ground. So I have almost a matched pair, one in a pot, one in the ground. But neither has flowered yet. I'm hoping that they will flower soon because these also have colored cones, like the Encephalitis villosus we saw earlier.
Well, another stunningly beautiful specimen. Lots of beautiful Tillandsias. All of these plants, remember, all of the plants you see are for sale. And we got here, is that an Epistoia mixed with a Coreopsis? What's happening here?
Oh, well, the things that look dead are Coreopsis gigantea because they don't grow in the summertime. They're winter growers. So as soon as the winter rains come, they will be covered with ferny little green foliage and big clusters of yellow flowers.
And what's this nice cactus we see?
That is your Chrysocactus straussii from Argentina.
Classic cactus straussii. Fantastic. Look at this fantastic collection. Almost everything grown from seed or small pups or cuttings. Amazing. nice, beautiful specimen-sized plumeria full of Tillandsias and Spanish moss. What's this tall, kind of skinny one with the light green leaves?
Oh, that's one of the 4 named species from the Philippine Islands. That's Cycad Philippine Ants.
Wow.
And the
beautiful.
one next to it, that little scrawny thing with the long trunk, is Surcin Ellis, Cycad Surcin Ellis.
And a couple of nice diunes. These are from where?
Those are from Mexico. These, I believe, are the West Coast species from the drylands.
And this, what is this one here in the corner? Is a beautiful thing.
The label says it's Encephalitis Hildebrandt TI, but I think I've got another label in there. I'll have to check.
Okay, that's beautiful. Well, I want to thank you folks for stopping by my new tropical planet. And come on by, fly over some other time in the future. We're going to be going to all kinds of botanical gardens, private collections, and nurseries, and state parks. Anywhere we can find plants and animals that we want to love and learn to respect more. So stop by when you can. And remember, you can find me and find this planet by going to www.plantmansplanets.com.